Nice.
All right, cool.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. All right, we are live. Welcome to the QB Show. Happy to have you. It's going to be a great hour, especially if you are a QuickBooks Desktop fan. Jacint Tumacder is going to be on in about 5 minutes. We're going to talk what's new in QuickBooks Desktop, Accountant Edition, Enterprise, Mac, Pro, Premier. So very excited for that. And then Don's going to show off the QuickBooks Online for Mac app. She's really excited about that. But welcome to the show. We're going to go. I'm out in Tucson now. This is my new home turf. My name is Woody still, and I'm a product specialist with Intuit, but now based in Tucson, Arizona. We are in our house now, which is really cool. We moved all last week. Heard the show was great. Sorry I missed it, but I was driving. And we are excited to be out here, but it's only 4:30 here, so it's really nice. 4:30 to 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Although Arizona doesn't change time, so we're either 3 hours behind the East Coast like today, or 2 hours, I think, in the wintertime.
Oh, yeah. Wow. That's going to be
weird.
Woody.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird. So sometimes I'm an hour ahead of Pacific, sometimes I'm Pacific Standard. But anyways, Don, I know Stacy's on a plane, so how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Today was the official opening of the second location of Powerful Accounting.
What?
Yeah.
Two locations?
You missed that last week. That's right. I'm sorry.
What happened?
Well, so, I'm just a marketing genius, really.
Yeah.
I know a couple things. One of them is how to position yourself.
Wow.
So we work a lot with those tax attorneys that I constantly talk about.
In New York City?
In New Haven.
New Haven.
Yep. And so we they've expanded in such a great way that they had moved into a bigger office scenario, and they had an office that's going to be open, like a room in their office. That's an office available until January. And I said, we're moving in. We're moving in for 4 months, and we're going to collaborate for 4 months, and then we're going to get our own space in January next door. Because I believe the best marketing you can do when you're connected with a tax, bankruptcy, and criminal attorneys is to always be in their face. And so rather than sitting in their lap, we decided to just get an office and walk by their office all the time, right? And so I just hired another staff, another full-time person, and her name's Sharon. She's fabulous. She's on our website and everything. And I was with her all day today, and we worked through all the technologies that we use, and she's just phenomenal. You guys will definitely see her at a conference or two, and so we're real excited about that. So that is
awesome. Day. So you're in New Haven, and then out in the barn.
Just out in the barn, which Nicole and I will be here forever.
Right.
But
so you're not going to be based in New Haven.
Well, I won't be based in New Haven, correct, but I will likely visit, frequent it once or twice a week. As you can see, look at me, I got all dressed up today, like I look like a person. Nice. I did have my hair done earlier, but it's like 107. So, so anyway, yeah. So it was very exciting.
Well, congratulations, that's huge news.
Thank you. It's
2 locations.
It's tough, Woody. I'm not gonna lie. It's
gonna be like a franchise soon. Be like a franchise.
I would love that. I would love that. But we're having a great time, and the team is excited, and we're going to grow. I'm expecting to. My vision is to double the staff in the next year.
Wow.
We're at 6 right now, 4 full-time, and expect to be 12 in a year. And I don't know. I want to keep helping people, man. Right.
Well, that's awesome. Congratulations. And we'll get to sponsors, but Jacint's on. I'm sure he has a limited amount of time. He's really busy out there in California. But so Jacint Tumacder back, a long time guest on the show, probably half a dozen, maybe even a dozen times now, and especially this time of year. Jacint, thanks for coming on the QB show. How you doing out there?
Hey, I'm doing great. Good to see you, Woody, Don. Thanks for having me.
How are you? So good to see you, man.
Sorry, Stacy couldn't make it. She's flying. She's actually going to be training on QBO Cert in San Francisco this week. So she's on the plane.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And are you in Mountain View now? Is that your wall? Is that your office there? Or?
I am. I'm camping out in an office right now.
So you can work anywhere, Woody.
You work from anywhere. I know. He's mobile. He's a mobile guy.
So
just so that, I mean, most of the audience knows who you are, but if you just want to do a brief story of you, and then we'll go into the questions on QuickBooks 2016.
Yeah. So where do I start? So I actually started in 1992 at Intuit.
Control Y guy, is that what you do? Is that how do you make a Y? I don't know how.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Woody, that's Woody's favorite. I stole it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll be quiet.
Well, it was funny. I started and I was part of the first team to support QuickBooks for DOS version 1 when it came out, and I started in tech support. So then, when we started working on our Windows, releasing QuickBooks for Windows about a year later, they pulled me and and some other folks, and I said, and I actually was doing the beta support for it, and I said, you know what? I get all these questions about what's the accounting behind a transaction. It's like, can you give me a shortcut, some sort of accelerator shortcut so I could just see, the transaction journal, like what are all the debits and credits behind a transaction, so I could just show them, like, look, the accounting is right on this, because you would get all these questions about, like, well, I don't think this number's right on profit and loss. Like, okay, well, let's see where the invoice is going, or let's see where this bill is going, right?
Right.
But it's mostly the sales transactions, because or anything with an item on it.
Yeah, right.
That was the thing that trips you up.
Yep.
And so then we came with Control Y. And I'm racking my brain. This is the problem. Like, it wasn't Control Y when we first came out with it.
Oh.
I think it was Control U or something, but then we had to use that key for something. But anyway, it ended up being
It was undo, James. How come you didn't?
I'm sorry?
How come you couldn't make Control U undo? We've been asking for that for a long time.
There you go.
I'm just kidding.
Well, Jacint's going to probably talk a little bit about something that's pretty close to that, that's new in 16. But so, you came out with Control Y, and you were on the very first Snoopy QuickBooks 1992, April, what? What was the month?
It was launched in May of 1992.
Nice. That's awesome.
I remember because I joined in March. So yeah.
That's awesome. And you were also deeply involved with QuickBooks Account Edition for years. So
that's correct. That's correct.
And now, what are you doing now?
I'm working on our point of sale product now. So I'm actually leading the QuickBooks point of sale powered by Rebel Systems offering. So we've had a desktop point of sale offering for several years, about 15 years, and then we partnered with a company called Rebel Systems, and they make a really great solution that's iPad and cloud-based, and it services not only retailers, but it also serves restaurants, all kinds of mobile shops, whatever, a lot of different industries.
Yeah, I was thinking like wineries, wine tasting rooms, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that's great.
And it's iPad only, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, cool. So check that out. I know that resellers can sell that. Don, have you had any clients yet use the Rebel point of sale?
We've just not been focusing on point of sale at this point.
Okay.
We're not haters. We're just not. It's not our niche right now.
Yeah. It's interesting because with the resellers and whatnot, like you're either focusing on your accounting practice or a big part of that is just doing the consulting because it's all about just doing the hardware install, finding getting the you might have to get a subcontractor to get out there and set up the counter right because you want to get your register tucked in underneath, and so it's pretty involved. Yeah, so it's one of those niche offerings where if you're in, you're all in, right?
How's the Rebel setup? I mean, what's been the feedback and since it launched?
It's been pretty good so far. It's one of those products where it's so powerful. You need to figure out like which options do I need. There's that many options available, and so there's definitely some opportunities to learn. But what's great about it is I haven't heard of something where it doesn't. They haven't had a scenario where it's where you can't do X, Y, or Z on it. So.
Nice. Well, that's cool. Maybe we can have you back sometime to talk about that. Of course, you can go to pointofsale.intuit.com and you can see both the desktop enhancement that Jacint was also involved with, way more cohesive desktop program, I think, and then Rebel, of course, and even take a test drive, pointofsale.intuit.com. But today, Jacint, what we're talking about, or tonight, I should say, QuickBooks 2016, which was just, I mean, I was able to install mine. It was in my my product locker in the ProAdvisor, so I was able to download and install it today. So pretty exciting. How involved? What were you doing with that? Because you were doing point of sale too. So how involved were you with the 2016 product?
You know, I have to give the credit. I think you may have met Bhaskar and Shweta from the product team. So they really led that team. They really led that release going this year on it. They have been leading the QuickBooks Pro Premier for the last number of years, and so I sort of this was the transition year where I handed it over, and I sort of did some consulting on it.
Nice.
And so one of the accounting managers we were talking about was, you know, I definitely consulted with them on like, here's a roadmap, and here's where I think you should go accounting-wise from accounting features there.
Nice.
But to your point, you know, one of the things what we've done is, you know, the big thing when I started with accountant, and this is this big thing that we still keep focusing on, is two things. It's like, how do we save you time? And so, you know, we came up with, when Victoria was running it, she came up with the client data review, which I know Don and Woody, you guys know very, very well. You know, and then a few years ago, I came up with the, you know, tried to solve the problem of, you know, your shoebox clients. So we did the batch enter transactions, right?
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah, that's
then,
really popular.
What's interesting is like now so then we're getting feedback from accountants now. So you're going from, I've got shoebox clients, how do I get a year's worth of transactions in, to now you've gotten like a complete 180 where it's like, okay, you know what? I do the bookkeeping for my client. I entered all the bills and they got their bill payments all done for last month, and then my client went and connected to their bank account and downloaded the whole month's worth of bank transactions or credit card transactions. Now I've got a whole month's worth of duplicate transactions sitting in there. Does that sound familiar?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they want like some way to delete stuff, but I thought we would never put that in there.
Yeah,
but,
so
I mean, for clients.
And Charlie's, Russell, and other folks have talked about like, yeah, there's third-party utilities out there, but you know, it's just hard to do it as a third, you know, if you're working outside of the program. So we actually built batch delete. To finish that off, I said, let's do batch delete.
Nice.
And so that's what we put into 2016.
That's nice.
And what's nice is it's not, your clients will not get that. It's just Accountant Edition or Enterprise. So you're kind of protected. Right. For the most part, you're protected.
For the most part.
Well, an enterprise client, right? Could just,
right?
But still, it's nice. I've seen, so explain kind of the process, Jason. If you have something up to show it, cool, but if not, just explain it.
Oh, yeah, let me do that. Let me launch QuickBooks there.
Because I'm assuming it would be under the accountant menu, probably.
You probably, with the accountant toolbox, if you're in Pro, you can unlock it. Is that right, Jason?
Oh.
That is correct.
Nice.
Damn!
Dawn.
Dude, I'm on my game, Woody. Big opening today. I have to be on my game.
Franchised.
Okay, I'm going to ask a stupid question here.
Oh, it's a little, it's an icon that says, it's like a green arrow, like on the left.
Oh, that's green. If I moused over it, the one that says screen share?
Yeah, and then you have to choose what you want, and then you're probably going to see the Google Hangouts. So just kind of get the browser out of the way, and then we'll be seeing your desktop.
So
it looks like it's there. Yeah, there you go. I see it. Rock Castle Construction.
You can see it okay? Great.
Yep, looks great.
All right, so this is it. Oh, I need to get. Oh, I see. So I don't see it. So you guys can still see it, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. So this is it's right under the accountant menu. You can see I've got batch enter transactions here, and if I go to batch delete or void, I go to batch delete transactions. I can pick a bank. I can pick an account. In this case, I'm looking at checks, but I can also do bills. And what I can look for is I can pick a date range, and it can either pick all dates or from and to. If I want to show voided or deleted transactions, I can do that. And then here's a couple of bill payments. It tells me what I've got. I can check these off. And then I can just say review and delete. And then at this point, I can decide to delete them. And I also have the option to back up before I delete, or if I'm feeling confident about that, I can just delete only. We always default to back up and delete.
Yep, absolutely.
And what's cool is that there's plenty of warnings, and I believe it'll show the linked transactions, right? So if you're deleting,
that's right. It shows the linked transactions. If you go back, transactions linked to the highlighted check, and you can see that, oh yeah, this was linked to this check, because these are both bill payment checks.
Nice.
And that's the nice thing too. So and I'm sorry, apologies for not creating a better sample set of data, but these two are bill payments. What you would probably end up doing is looking at checks. You'd see a bill. The scenario we just talked about is like you'd see a bill payment check and then you see a regular check. So the regular check for the same amount is the one you'd want to delete.
Oh, nice. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where you're looking through it. But you know, this is huge, solving the problem of like even if you have 10 transactions, you have to go. What do you have to do? You have to do control find, then you have to look up the check, then you have to find it, then you have to actually click the delete button, then you have to wait for it to, then you have to say, yes, do I want to delete? Yes, I do want to delete it. So that could take you, 10 transactions could take you like 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, easily.
No, this is awesome. I think I like your example of, you know, downloaded transactions that they didn't mean to by accident or whatever, or I like that there's a date range cutoff, you know, so they and it's only 3 transaction types to start, right?
That's right. Yep. And you could sort this by payee, you could sort it by type, date, number, any of these columns you can sort them by. Yep. The other thing I like about this is that we put in here, I'm just going to pick a couple of random ones here. Delete. So I can either avoid them. I have the choice of avoiding them or deleting them. And then I'm going to skip this. What I like about this is once you're done deleting, I can go and view a transactions, voided, deleted transactions. So here's all the transactions I just deleted. So I can actually save this report off right now. Right after doing that.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
And then it says deleted transaction. Like that's the action. That's pretty cool.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. And that's in account. And so it's bills, checks, and invoices for right now?
Correct. That's correct.
Do you know what other ones we're adding, or are we?
Sorry. I will check with Bhaskar and Shweta, but I think that there's, if I were to guess, I would think that the two big ones that you're going to do the most are going to be checks and credit card charges. So I have to think credit card charges have to get added at some point there.
Right. That's awesome, and I like how consistent it is with the batch enter transaction window, and also add, edit, multiple lists. I mean, all of them are so cohesive, right? So.
Yep. Yeah, we kind of took that problem because like I worked on the add, edit, multiple list entries, and I said, hey, let's make sure batch enter is consistent with that. So I was really happy that they stayed consistent with the design pattern here.
Right.
Awesome. And love that you guys had a report and that they did.
I love it.
And again, Accountant Edition or any enterprise. Now, I do have another enhancement that I wanted to ask you about, Jacint, because I think you'll be able to explain it to me better, why we did it and why it's important. That new report filter, I'm still trying to figure out why that was critical, but it sounds like it is.
I'm glad that you asked about that there. So I think the filter you're talking about is if I run, so we have the default for a report is this month to date.
Right.
Then there's a new one which is this fiscal year to last month.
Yes.
That's the one you're talking about, right?
Yes. Yeah, like I'm trying to figure out, like Don, maybe Don and you can explain as why that's cool, because I'm trying to figure out how to pitch it. Yeah, this fiscal year to last month.
Yeah. So I'll take a stab, and Don, feel free to tell me feel free to add in. So the feedback that we heard from accountants is that, like, look, the default is usually this month to date, but when you're running reports for your clients, you want to see this fiscal, you want to see it for this year, but you're always in the middle of a month, typically when you're running a report. So you just want to see like, hey, let me see a date range from the beginning of the fiscal year all the way up to the end of last month.
Mm-hmm.
So that way it's a clean, because you always like to end, like, you just want to see a complete month. You don't want to see it what it looks like in the middle or at the beginning of the month.
You don't want to have to check the dates in. It's a pain.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice. Okay, that makes sense. So Dawn, you would use this report with your
absolutely.
clients.
Yeah, this is really good. Like I said, I mean, having to, it sounds stupid, but changing dates is so last century or whatever. Having to go in and change dates.
Yeah. So here's the problem that Dawn would have to do now. It's like she would have to go this fiscal year to date. Then she would have to change this. Then she have to go take the to date.
Yeah.
And do it. She's because she's awesome and she knows all the shortcut keys. So take it to the beginning of the date, then do that, and then change it to the
Control L.
Month.
Yeah. No, that's sweet. That makes sense because I think that'll be a big one then. I like that. I think that's cool.
So let me ask you this, Dawn. Should we ask Bhaskar or Shweta to say, let you control what the default date is for your reports and preferences?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Because I don't think there is one. Sorry, I'm going.
Go to.
No, it's good. It's good.
Reports.
Yeah, there isn't one.
You can.
But then you could just say when it opens up, they always open up to this fiscal year to last month or whatever one you wanted to do.
You can't set a company preference.
Nope. Yeah, I just double checked that. It's embarrassing. Sometimes I forget more than I remember. So I always
isn't that true? Isn't that the truth though?
I'm looking right now and I don't see the ability to do that.
No, there's
I
not.
was just in there.
You guys are right.
Yeah, I was just in there. I just had preferences up. So yeah.
So you have to memorize it, but it would be cool if you didn't have to do that. Right. That's awesome. But no, Jason, you're exactly right. I mean, I bet when you went, just to take a little tangent on your comment that I think everybody can relate to, you moved over to Revel POS and you're so focused there, but stuff just starts falling out of the brain,
We're also getting older, Woody. We've been around. Us guys have been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Us guys.
I had an intern this summer. He helped me around campus and stuff like that.
You have a golf cart? You don't have a golf cart yet? Figured you have one.
Yeah.
The flag.
They're gonna give me a Go scooter soon though. So.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
That is cool. All right. So what are the other ones that you like that Bhaskar and his colleague did?
Oh, I love the new upgrade experience.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me show you. How many upgrades have you had to walk your clients through, Dawn? Upgrades, so they get the latest version, and they're just like, Dawn, help me.
Yeah. It's interesting. For the most part, we really, Intuit hasn't really changed the look of QuickBooks in a while. So they get freaked out. The biggest thing is it going to look different? They're like, well, it's not going to look different, but you have these other features that you're going to. I think the biggest thing was the icon bar change.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about, so the scenario I'm talking about is like, okay, I'm going to upgrade, like, I don't know, Dawn, can you just help me, like, get my file upgraded from 2014 to 2016?
Yes. Yeah, we get people that ask that question, and obviously they upgrade. Most of the time our clients are in the hosted environment just because we're so thankful for that and not having to do it locally. But, yeah, they're so afraid to upgrade that date. Like, they just don't even, they think it's like this big process.
Yeah.
And so, but we're glad they do that because at the same time, I like to do data file verifications before I upgrade, not when I'm trying to do my upgrade. So I always want to make a backup and do that verification before the default makes me, right? So it makes me do that backup. But I like to do that even before that process starts because the last thing I want to do is jack up a file on an upgrade. And that's some of the stuff that people don't think about, that can absolutely happen. So, but yeah, they do. They don't want to do it. They think they don't know the difference between update and an upgrade.
Yep.
They have no idea.
Yeah. Well, this one, and I also think here's the problem that we tried to solve here. Can you guys see my screen? Okay.
Yeah. The slides are good.
Yeah. So it was also, we tried to guide you through it. I mean, you guys have been through this a million times. Okay. Got the latest version of QuickBooks. You open it up and says, okay, hey, let's update your company file. It's like, okay, I can figure this out. Let me update. Then it does backup. It's like, okay, that sounds like a good idea.
Sure.
Now you start getting a little fuzzy, like, okay, online backup, local backup. I get to like, okay, make sure you got all your options set up. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what these options are. And then I get a whole bunch of other screens. At some point, you're just like, you know what? I'm just going to call Don, Woody, or call support, whatever. And that's the #1 call that both Intuit gets, and I'm sure you and your peers get as well, Don. Like when you're just like when it's upgrade time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it really should be an easy. And like they don't want to call you; they just want to move along with their business. So now, here's what it looks like. Open up your company file, and it says, okay, let's just update it. And in fact, we already set a default location for you to back up. So you know exactly what to do. And what you have to do is just click update now.
Nice.
I love that.
We show you one dialog that just tells you what's going on. So it's going to show you that it's backing up, then it's going to show you that it's verifying data, then it's going to show that it's updating. So then at the end, so you know exactly what's happening, and then at the end,
hooray! Yeah,
literally, you just updated your company file with one click. QuickBooks did the rest.
That's just awesome.
And I would just say that for practitioners, for those of us who are doing that, I see that it does a backup, Jacint. Does it do also a verification while it's doing that backup? Or is it just one of those overriding backups that ignores it?
I'm still waiting to get an answer to that question there.
That's okay.
But I can definitely email you that response. So I did get that question.
Yeah, and that's just as practitioners, obviously great, we'll get the answer to that, but as a practitioner, we should think about, I'll not for Jacint's screen, but we should think about that we should be doing that verification, that backup, before that one step, which I think that step is great, but at least do a verification. You may not have to make an extra backup. I mean, that's ridiculous. But
my guess,
utilities do a verification just to be sure the data file is okay.
My guess is the backup will fail, or the upgrade will fail if there's data damage. Right?
So interesting that you make that comment, and Jacint, of course I want to hear what you have to say about that. I have had times when obviously I've gone to do a backup, the data hasn't verified, but it still allows the backup to happen. I'm trying to think of the scenario where it does that. It's almost like it does a backup anyway. When does that happen, Jacint?
The rebuild?
Yeah, when you're doing a rebuild, it does a backup anyway, even though we know it's a non-verified data file.
Right. And you can suppress that backup too when you do a rebuild.
Woody.
You hold the control key down before you click rebuild.
That's a big tip, everybody. Did you hear that?
But make sure you have one. I mean,
What a control key.
Assuming you have a good, yeah. Make sure you have a control key, but I mean, assuming you have make sure you have a good backup file someplace that's sort of recent, right? No, I bet it would fail, but I mean, I think this is awesome because I'm sure that the verify is assumed. That's what I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can verify. I can double check that with the team. The way I think it should work is that it should verify it, and then if it does detect an issue, it should just auto rebuild it.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah.
Because you've got a backup. You've got the backup there. So.
Oh, speaking of which, Hector, Hector from
Hector Garcia, of course I know
yeah.
Hector.
So he sent me some stuff he found when he was playing around about the new report when you verify. Like you can view the errors without having to use the win log. That's new too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's like when you do a verify, because I verified my data file after I upgraded and there was damage, and I saw what he was talking about. You can click View Errors, and it opens up just an internal dialog window inside your QuickBooks screen, and it'll list the errors and the numbers and stuff without having to do the F2, F3 WinLog thing. And I thought that was really cool.
Nice.
Little delighters. I mean, now that since we're talking verify rebuild now.
Yeah, they're in product there.
Yeah.
A couple of other delighters, because I know you guys appreciate, our users appreciate those things. We now support, if you're a product-based business, we now support continuous feed label printers, so those Z label printers.
Oh.
So if you want to print product labels or anything like that, printing them onto a sheet of labels is not a really good experience for you. You want that single continuous feed label, so that way you can print out 1 label, 2 labels, 5 labels, whatever you want.
Oh, that is sweet.
Nice.
What's that? Yeah. What's like a Z label or something?
Yep. And then the other thing is on purchase orders, sales orders, we now auto-copy the ship to address from a sales order to a PO.
So auto-copy, yeah, I was looking at that one. Oh, yeah, look at all that. That's like, I'm looking at the label thing. Sorry, file printer setup, for those of you who have it open.
Share your screen, buddy.
You got all these, you want me to?
Yeah.
You got all these cool, like it looks like point of sale labels. It's so neat. Here, see, I went to file printer setup, and then label, and then you have all these labels. So you got the 3x5, the Avery labels, right? Is this what you mean? Avery labels, right? Those are the small ones.
No.
No.
No, that's the format of the label. That's if you're printing from a regular printer. Go up to printer name.
Ah, there it is. Got it.
The printer type, it would be a single feed. Yeah, continuous feed. There you go.
Nice. That's cool. Really like that. I'm sorry. I'll unshare. But that's really neat. Yeah. That as well. And what are the other cool ones you thought? I mean, even if you have any from Enterprise.
Yeah. So talking about like that, the continuous feed label printers, that's in all of them from Pro and Higher, but that's really targeted towards like enterprise users who are probably going to be using a lot of the program.
Yeah.
They tend to be heavy-duty product-based businesses, just like the auto copy of the ship to address from a sales order to a PO. So if your sales flow is such that you take the sales order and then you just go straight to a PO and you want to have them drop ship it, that'll save you some time.
Yeah.
In QuickBooks Enterprise, we also have a new filter for custom fields on list reports. So all of the custom fields are now filterable on list reports.
Oh, really?
In Enterprise.
Wait. What was that again? What is?
Custom fields on list reports.
Are sortable?
Filterable.
Filterable. Nice. Yeah, that's pretty exciting. But just Enterprise. Okay. Good to know.
Enterprise. Yep.
Very cool. And I know there was an enhanced shortage report. I didn't install the Enterprise yet. I just have the QBA installed, so I'll do that tomorrow.
And then the big one is that we continue, even though we launched it last year, is we continue to iterate on the advanced reporting.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Industry specific?
That was pretty much a soft launch. We didn't actually talk about that during the release last year.
I remember that. Yeah. Is Joe Lassie? Is he still working on that? Is that his product?
Yes. He is the.
Nice. And so the difference was, I think, more tutorials, easier to get up and running, but also industry-specific reports.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and he's working with a team where they just are releasing like on a regular basis. It's not like you wait a year for something to come out. It's released every. I don't know the specific cadence, but somewhere around 8, at least probably a little more than once a quarter. So.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I'll definitely install the Enterprise tomorrow. I was excited about some of that stuff. Anything else for Pro Premier?
No, that was pretty much it. Those are the big ones. Hey, have you talked to everybody about a new change? I'm going to shift gears out of the product.
Sure, please.
Because I want to talk a little bit, and you guys tell me how much time you guys have.
We have plenty.
25 more minutes, bro.
Yeah, plenty. You can take it all if you want.
I wanted to talk about. One was, have you talked to everybody about the new ProAdvisor option?
Yes. Now, internally, not a lot externally yet. I haven't tweeted much, but yes, the $349 for just QuickBooks Account Edition and getting certified. Yeah, ProAdvisor Deluxe.
Yeah, let me
break that down. That'd be awesome.
Let me break it down. Let me break it down for you here. So I think you just see a white screen right now.
Yes, I do.
Stand by, buddy. There you go.
Do right for me ProAdvisor option. We still have the plan that we started with, where it includes everything, and the only difference there is it's called ProAdvisor Premium now. And so that gives you everything: QBO, QBOA, QuickBooks Desktop Accountant, QuickBooks Enterprise, Point of Sale, QB Mac. Okay, and that's the $549 a year. So no changes to that other than now it's called ProAdvisor Premium. So if you support all of our offerings, this is the plan for you. So the feedback that we've heard from a lot of accountants is like, well, you know what? I only support Pro Premier. It's like, I don't need this extra stuff here.
Huh.
Right.
Now we have this new offering called ProAdvisor Deluxe. So if you're primarily just Pro Premier focused, it's like, hey, I got my point of sale license is just sitting in my locker, and like I don't really have any Mac clients. So this would be a good alternative for you there.
Yeah.
And it's the same program, only now, and the only difference is you get QuickBooks Desktop Account, QBA Plus. And so not only is it right for the products that you support, but it's also right in terms of the price too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can just see a lot of firms just downgrading most of their staff. I mean, I would probably keep one at premium just for that kind of rogue enterprise client, because you don't get any discounts for those products either with the Deluxe, right? It's just going to be Pro Premier discounts, or support. So maybe keep one premium and the rest of the staff could be Deluxe, and you're still going to save, it's $200 a year for each head. So I think it's an awesome fit.
Yeah. And then depending on the size of your firm, that's right. So it's not just right for me for the individual, but it's also right for me in terms of like if you're a larger firm, now you can work out the mix that you want. If you want and this really enables you to basically have your staff become pro advisors as well, without without having to pay the full premium for that, because this is the same price as the product would cost you.
Yes, that's what I like too. So you might as well be a Pro Advisor than just buy an Accountant Edition.
That's right. Yeah. So then you get all the advantages.
I think that's getting closer to the firm pricing that we've been asking for. Closer, right?
And and I think the bulk. I mean, if you're doing bulk seats or bulk licensing, you're still going to do that kind of outright QuickBooks Account Edition for $349, and probably not a Pro Advisor, but. Outside of the bulk pricing, you might as well just be a Pro Advisor.
Yeah. So that's right. So Don, that's right. If you're the larger firm, you have the bulk pricing. So this pricing is not firm for them.
Right.
All right. Stupid joke, but anyway. She gave me like a little courtesy smirk there.
I know. Listen, I'm in charge of everything tonight, so I'm like, really busy.
That's awesome.
And then we still have the Pro Advisor. It's called Pro Advisor. This is the program. It used to be called Pro Advisor Cloud when we introduced it last year. So if you're a newer firm and you just support cloud clients, this is the right option for you.
So Jacint, it was a good question. A couple of questions that happened in the chat here. One of them is, so someone had just signed up for the ProAdvisor program like last month, and now they're like, wow, that $349 would have been better. I said I don't think it's retro, but Like they can't like cancel. I guess maybe they have a 30-day cancellation policy. I don't even know what.
Just call the team and figure out where they're, what their status is on that.
Yeah. So Robin, do that. Just call up and see what you can find out. Intuit's always been fair, in my opinion. Just I would say 99.9. One out of maybe a million times they haven't been fair, but I would say the other, whatever is minus that 999,000. But also good. Oh, it's a renewal. I don't think that's gonna fly, but I don't know. The other thing was a great question that someone asked. Does all of these ProAdvisor offerings still allow like a monthly subscription base? Because obviously the $549 is $50, and I think it's $50.49 a month because I have 6 ProAdvisor memberships, and so I think.
That's a good question. They've gone to a year. So if you're currently on a monthly plan, you can auto renew. We'll keep that. But if you're signing up for these new plans, so they're only annual.
So I would say that you would not. I would say that you will not get a refund if you have been a ProAdvisor before. So if you're a new ProAdvisor, maybe that you would be able to shift your package. That's inappropriate.
If you're an existing ProAdvisor, you should, depending on when you renewed.
Yeah, you can downgrade.
Be able to shift.
Yep.
So don't quote me on this because I'm the product. This is where I know product, but with the programs, like to your point, we try to be fair on that. Like usually,
you can.
We usually give you 60 days. Like if you're 6 months, if you renewed 6 months ago, you'll be halfway into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably it depends, right? If you did it with the last 60 days, then we'll just give you the $200. But I think they figure it out, and there's a process for that now. So for those, but if you're coming up on your renewal, you might as well just wait and then, call in and or get with your account manager, whoever's doing it. Call Tucson, and there's a way to change it from the premium to the deluxe, yeah. Save you $200 there a year if you're not doing enterprise or POS or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like it. I had another thought with this slide you're showing. Oh, by the way, is there any chance, Jason, I can get this deck? Because the slides make a lot more sense than the deck I have. This is a good one.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Something else came up.
Are you a member of the ProAdvisor Premium program?
I am premium. Yes.
Okay.
John,
then you can
are you?
Then I can give it to you
Premium.
then. As long as you're premium.
Right. Right. No, I wasn't going to share this externally. I was just going to keep it for internal.
I'm sorry.
It'll help the sales folks, I think. Yeah, it'll help sales folks break it out. I like the columns, and it makes a lot of sense. Good grid. No, this, I think, was a great idea. I think we're going to see a lot of people jump down, to the deluxe. Probably.
Yeah.
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 I'm that I got to. Hey, were you guys just in Chicago or in Rosemont at the Midwest Accounting Show? I think you were there, Woody, weren't you?
No, I since Valerie Heckman was there, Donna needed me at the Southeastern Accounting Show in Atlanta, which is the same week. So I was there. Yeah.
I was there, but I was doing briefings on QuickBooks 2016, so I was in a room off to the side. I peeked in once or twice, and I was there.
Nice. Yeah, I heard it's a pretty busy show.
Yeah. The other thing that I got to talk about too was, have you guys already talked about the new Windows app for QuickBooks for QBO?
Yeah, we have shown that, and we had Richard Blitz come on, and he.
You guys are all set with that.
Oh wait, Richard did multi-currency. I'm sorry. I don't think we've had the QBO Windows app. I mean, I showed it a little, and then Stacy told me to wait till the product manager comes on. But if you want to show it, that'd be cool. I just showed a little bit. It's very exciting. I think.
Already, because I need to take away from.
No, go for it. And then I think
Love
you
it.
can show the Windows app, and then Don wanted to show the Mac version of that same app. It'd be kind of a fun way to end the show.
Yeah. All right. Let me get that launched up here.
Stand by.
It's very popular, this QBO Windows app. I mean, the first day there was like 1,000 downloads.
I'm just going to say it's because we could actually log in. Just saying that, Woody.
Right, so you don't have to use the browser, right? No, that's fair.
You know what? We loved it. Was wonderful. It was like, it almost felt like you jumped into a wicked cold pool after being inside, like in the desert at 150 degrees.
Nice.
This relief that you were like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Laura Redmond uses the Mac app exclusively.
Yeah.
All right. So I am jumping in. Let me go ahead and share.
Sure.
So let me talk a little bit about. I think I'm going to jump to slides first.
Okay. Yeah, maybe like the evolution of this app or where it came out of.
Yeah. So really, this is the power of QuickBooks Online. So you've got QuickBooks Online. You get all the benefits of that, where the product is always up to date. More importantly, your data is always up to date. So if your client's working in it, one of their staff is working in it, your staff's working in it, when you get in there, you always have the latest set of data. So you have seamless collaboration. So everything you get from QBO, the performance and productivity of working in a Windows PC app. So you get the speed, the keyboard shortcuts, everything that you like about working in a Windows app. And that's true of the Mac app too. It's like, hey, I'm used to working on a Windows system. I want everything to work like other Windows apps, and the same thing on a Mac. All right, let me jump right in here. So this is it. And if you can see my screen, I don't know, can you see my system tray down on the bottom?
No, we can't see the system tray. I see it right below expenses. Basically, just the top part of that graph is what we can see.
All right. But what's below there is, like, as you know, you have your taskbar down on the bottom. So I have an icon that's just for my QuickBooks. And so this is QuickBooks Online, only the difference here is I've got very familiar, it looks and feels like a Windows app, because it is. It's QBO wrapped inside of a Windows app. You can see that it's a full Windows app. I've got it. I've got the close bar, I've got the maximize, minimize, and like other Windows apps, I've got a menu bar across the top.
Yeah. Yeah, the menu bar is cool. A lot of people have been liking that piece. And you can even, I had a friend tell me that, when you turn on in the QuickBooks Labs the ability to collapse the left nav panel, you don't even have to use that or the plus sign or the gear icon anymore. You just use the menu bar across the top.
Yeah. I don't know. Can you guys see these reports that just came up?
No, they must be on the other monitor.
Probably because this screen sharing is showing. I have to share an app. I just can't share a screen, or can I share a screen as well?
I think we need to share your desktop. It'll show everything.
Let me do that. Let's see.
Yep.
Yeah, share the whole thing.
Let me do screen. Screen one. Yeah, it only lets me share apps. It won't let me share just my whole desktop. Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, when you.
Oh, wait a sec. Here. Sorry, my bad.
You got it.
I think I figured it out. Sorry about that. Oh.
Yep, that happens too. I think if you minimize your Chrome, we'll see your. Yep, there we go. Perfect. So now I see the windows. Yeah, you got a balance sheet up. You got the P&L behind it, as well as over the main window of the QBO.
Now I've got multiple windows. So now instead of having to go in and like open up reports and tabs on a browser, I've got them. I can open them up in separate windows. So I get multiple windows. And not only are they multiple windows, but they're detached, meaning that I actually have a second monitor. So I know you can't see it, but I just dragged this report onto my other monitor.
Nice.
And now it's back.
So I think the big thing for me, yeah, the favorites, cool.
And I just brought up, I just, for those of you who like or used to shortcut keys, I just did a Control-I and I just brought up an invoice on there. Now, if I were to record this, let's say I record an invoice for $3,000, when I go back to this balance sheet, it will auto-refresh the accounts receivable balance. And same thing on my profit and loss report.
Yes, the auto refresh is key. I think that's the big seller for me is the auto refresh.
So now you really get to work, natively, like the way, like I use the word natively, like the way that you would expect to work inside of your product, whether it's with the multiple windows. And so I think this is really going to help you in terms of, number one, more productive, and two, just getting used to navigating around because it's in an environment that you're used to working in.
Yeah. No, it's good. And I've pushed up a couple things. The thing that I miss is there's no recent transaction icon in the upper left-hand corner of the transactions because I like bouncing back to different transactions. And it seems like there's less stuff under the More tab. But other than that, it's same feature set,
The last thing that I wanted to call out, and this is probably more important for you guys, or actually it's important for everybody, is that now because you're printing from you're in a Windows app, you now have native Windows app printing versus printing from a browser.
Really?
So you don't have to worry about remembering, did I turn off the header and footer and getting all this extra extraneous information that I would normally get from printing from a browser, as well as just the fact that you just print a lot nicer. And that's important because, what if you're printing out an invoice to send to a customer, or if you're printing out some financials for your clients, you want them to look clean. You don't want this extra information on them.
No, that's a good point.
How about export, Jacint? Is the export better?
The export should be the same.
Because you know how it shrinks up stuff and you have to make it bigger. That's cool still, the print. That's awesome.
Yeah, the print's cool. Yep. No, that's good. And then, Dawn, did you want to show the Mac app?
Yeah.
Just kind of it'd be a perfect segue right after.
I'm going to do entire screen so you can see the whole thing. Share.
Yeah, I think Jacint has to click stop first.
Oh, yeah, let me stop. Sorry.
And then you take over. But I do like the infinity window opening. That's really interesting.
You love that.
It looks really cool.
Can you see my mountain?
No, he's still sharing.
There we go.
There you go.
All right.
Now you can do it, Dawn.
All right. So you see my mountain, which is, that's the mountain we climb every day, Woody. Right, buddy?
Awesome.
So in my system tray, you would be deceived by this logo, wouldn't you?
Right. You think it was QuickBooks for Mac?
You would think so. So when I just click on it, which I love, I'm able to just have it, click, and there I am. And
nice.
Then, if I want to switch companies, I can do that, which I'm not going to drop down my customer list, but if my client list. But if I want to, I could drop down here. And like you said, at the top, if you see the top of my navigation, you have the ability to look at reports, navigate, company settings, chart of accounts, do different things. And I just, for me as a Windows person, this is really fantastic, and it works great. I don't even have to log in anymore, which has brought back half of my soul. Honestly.
Right, because you can just stay logged in, right? You just you click on the icon, it opens up into the last file you're in.
Like this, Woody.
Nice.
Just like this. If I want to be in desktop and I'm in a hosting solution, I can click and I can get in my stuff.
Yep.
I don't have to do no login stuff or whatever. But I love that it's my icon, I'm in, I don't have to worry about new incognito window because I'm going to probably murder myself if I have to do that again. And so that's what I love about it. I